I did want to document a bit by asking you several questions as relates to your future and where you do see yourself. Um, I love the fact that neither one of us is where we want to be, and we're not even we're both kind of just getting started. And of course, that's what Gary Vee constantly references is like those early years. Like, and people don't pay attention to the journey as much. They look at the finished product and they just kind of reverse engineer it. And they may not even do that. They just see the current position, like, oh, you were lucky, or somebody put you on, or somebody gave you a shout out. You're born into money. We neither one of us was born into money, but one day we will have money. One day we will be him. But of course, we're just on our journey. We're traveling towards that right now. So, where do you see yourself in? And I don't want to get too nuanced, but let's say in 10 years, where would you like to see yourself? And matter of fact, no, let's do 20 years. Just so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves.
I think it is a great privilege to. So this is one thing I understand that and it's why I chase what I chase. You're going to change. What I care about now, I may not care about at 30. What I care about at 30, I may not care about at 40. I simply, and this is just how simple I broke it down, and this is excluding Christianity, because we obviously were raised like that. If you just were to break life down, this is kind of how simple it goes to me. There's things you want that you can't get: love, contentment, happy, things like that you can't get with money. And then in today's day, there's the other half where you need money: housing, all types of things, the ability to do what you want. So I just looked at it as, I want to be financially free to take that 50% out. Then I'm fully able to chase the things that money can't buy. And I'm not saying it's supposed to make you happy or anything. I just don't want to have to deal with it. It's annoying. I hate the fact that I wake up to an alarm clock. That's just a part in me, right? And that, I think, will lead me to, in 20 years, I always just add, number one, like, I don't know if I'll have a family. I don't know what I'll be doing. I just know whatever I'll be doing, I'll want to do it, and I'll get to do it every day. And I always try to say, like, if this was thousands of years ago, and to do that, you had to be king or a great warrior or something, that's what I would be chasing. But in today's day, and it's not everything, and the health, these are all other things money can't get. I just want the financial freedom, because that takes out the annoying things to me. Waking up and you got to go to work, you got to go do the things that we all have to do that we don't really care to do. So I know for sure in 20 years, financial freedom. And then whatever with that, I could see myself definitely having a family. And overall, it's not about stopping working or anything like that. It's just doing what you want. Literally, if I wake up a day and, I want to go here, I want to try this, I want to go to this passion project, I'm going to just chill with my family, I want to do whatever it is that I'll be doing, it'll be something I want to do. And I can't name specifics, because planning is pointless in life. You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. God forbid I could not make it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so it's not really a specific thing. I just know whatever it is, I will be doing it, and I'll be doing it every day if I want to, or not at all. And I'll be on my own time. That's really it. Just chasing my own freedom with my time. So in 20 years, I see myself having that freedom with time.
Specs. Is there a city that's exists in your mind that you've always thought, or maybe a country that, I would love to live there, move there one day?
So I used to think that. So if you asked me like 5 years ago, it would have been Miami, or Texas. I could see Houston or something like that. But in the way the world's going, I see it as anywhere. Like, there's living in a city would be, I can see myself in a major city, a nice climate that's balanced in a way, maybe like a Texas type climate or a Florida type climate. But travel would be just anytime I wanted, and consistent. That's really how I see it. So it's like, and me and Nate have always discussed this with, like, because if you look at it, it's like, why are you in Watertown? You could grow your business anywhere or go somewhere else. It's the point of, when you can travel, where you're at doesn't really matter. Like, you can be based in Indiana. Like, a lot of companies are incorporated in Delaware. Do they live in Delaware or in Seattle? It doesn't matter. You can get on a flight today and be somewhere in hours. So where you live, technically, it matters. But I would say it's going to hit a lot of my points, like a lot of the things I want in, like, where I live. But it's kind of irrelevant if you can travel and go where you want when you want.
When you first hit your accumulation of $1 million, and a lot of these are just vanity questions, but part of me is just curious, because first of all, we haven't talked in a minute, but beyond that, we haven't really talked as adults in a minute either. As it relates to just a lot of our shared goals, or like goals, things that ambitions you have for yourself. We haven't talked about these things in depth. what would you buy with your first $1 million? What will be the first thing, the first to do on your list as far as if you accumulate $1 million?
Hmm. So it's boring, but oh well. So are we talking like what is the instance? And I have this $1 million. Are you talking about $1 million in stock, net worth, cash? Like
Let's call it liquid because of your because you're let's say it was I don't want to say it's dividends because I don't think companies are paying millions of dollars in dividends, but
they
I mean
are. You
so
have.
somebody's getting dividends like that.
Yeah.
But in regards to like your own portfolio, let's say you have liquid $1 million cash and you got it burning a hole in your pocket, you're just bored.
To buy.
Or to do. It could be an experience or a
I
commodity.
was gonna. So that's the weird thing. Like the one, I've always been and this is another thing about myself that I think gives me advantage to a lot of people. I'm very simple. So
Mm,
I have a standard, but it's simple. I'm not
yeah.
like I think the difference between like utility of certain things is kind of the same. Whether you're wearing a Nike hoodie or a Gucci hoodie, it's
Yeah.
the same. They convey different levels, I guess, of money, but
Messages,
in
yeah.
reality, it's all kind of the same. And I understand that material things like I think it's called the hedonic treadmill,
Mm,
where you'll always return back to that normal level of happiness, even though, and it'll take more now. So if you were homeless and then you got a house, it's cool, but eventually you get used to your house and you go back to normal. Then now you want a nicer house or things
yeah.
like that. So it's not really about, I guess, material things, even though it is. I'd still buy nice things. I like nice things. It's just the point of I just want the freedom of switching. So that let's say I wanted a car that day, I go buy a Ferrari. I want to wake up the next day and be like, all right, now I want to go travel. Like I'm all about the freedom that comes with that. I only care about finances for freedom
Mm,
and the ability. Yes, you have to take care of yourself and eat, but I don't look at it as like I'm chasing a million because I used to want to go to an NBA game and I never got a chance to. It's
mm,
I just want freedom. I do not like having to listen to people or deal with people if I don't want to. So I'm just chasing. If I had $1 million, it would instantly get reinvested to make my next million.
got you.
Because I want more freedom until I hit a point where, and of course, with inflation, this is harder, but until I hit a point where it doesn't matter. Like,
Mm,
pretty much once you hit, I believe it's like $50 million. And who's to say I'll ever get this? The whole point is I'm going to chase it for sure.
yeah.
But once you get to $50 million, I believe you can do pretty much the marginal utility of money is gone. Like, you can be
Mm,
happier with way less, but that's the point where it's like, I can do everything someone with $300 million has, or whatever. And then when you get to billions, it's just irrelevant. Like
yeah.
if you get to
You
that point,
bored.
there's so much money you can't even spend it.
Yeah.
So really, it's just like I get to a point where I know this can support my lifestyle, and then I just do what I want every day. Because with me, it changes. The military has really changed me in the way of I missed how different things happen just in a regular civilian day. You can
Yeah.
go run into this person, this happened. Like
Yeah.
if you're on a military base, it's so uniform and it's the same. Like you're not going to hear about there was a crazy car chase. This person did this. You're
Mm,
not going to bump it. You may bump into people that you know, but it's so orderly that your brain is just like, where's the life, the
yeah.
differences and things. It's not
Mm,
uniform. So I just would want just freedom, and I want that feeling back that you're feeling now of just
mm,
the real like that pressure and that
yeah.
it's good. It's a good motivator to feeling like you're alive and not just all right, next day gotta go to work. Next day gotta go to work. All right, I'm off. 2 days off, go back. Like it's just not the life I want to live. So the freedom. That's all I could say. Freedom.